Okay, today I just want to go over what it is that's happening next week and some of the questions that you've been asking about it. If you go into your Canvas course, no matter who your teacher is, you should be able to access a module, and the module is right here. It says End of Semester Assessments. So a couple things to note here. If you're not even sure what's going on, well, here's what's going on here, that the last week of the semester is actually dedicated to assessing you for both Unit 6, which is Nature versus Nurture, and our development unit, through a very short 15-question quiz, multiple choice. And then you have a semester midterm, and it's really a cumulative exam, and you're used to cumulative exams. You've been taking them all year long. So this really isn't anything different. Obviously, there's a lot to cover, but we will definitely make sure that this is an opportunity for you to show us what you know. We want you to use the testing effect, right, to practice retrieval so you can prepare yourself for the AP exam. And we're hoping to encourage you to engage in distributed practice so you can also prepare for the AP exam. So how it's going to work is that there is an FRQ, and we will give you copies of that, and I'll go over that in a minute. And then there is a multiple choice section, and that multiple choice section will be 75 multiple choice questions on all the units. Okay, so that's basically what is going on. If I go next page in the module, you'll see there's just a quick page on Unit 6 and the study resources. There is, of course, a terms list, a guided review sheet, and answers to the guided review sheet. In addition, I would suggest that you look at your notes. Make sure that you go over your notes that you took for that module that you did on your own on nature and nurture. Okay. On the next page in this review module are some study resources for the FRQ and some ideas about how you might address those FRQs, just paying mind to the IDA that we've learned in class. So number one, there are 7 different class periods that take AP Psychology. So we have created 7 different FRQs, and we'll decide among us which class gets which FRQ. But you have access to all 7 of them, and I've given you a link right here to this document, and we suggest that you take your time to respond to it. And I've also given you right down here below all of the FRQs that were here. I'll just go through those in a second. But you will be asked to handwrite your response. So you won't be able to access what you prepare, but you certainly can see whatever questions might be asked of you. If you are at home, I want to note that you will not take the FRQ at home. So if you're at home and you're in quarantine, for any reason you can't come in, and you decide you can take the multiple choice test at home, but you will not be able to take the FRQ till you return. And just work with your teacher and decide if the FRQ even makes a difference in your grade, because it actually may not. If you just took the 50% rule, it may not change your grade. So you should work with your teacher to see if you even need to make it up. But it's a really good practice no matter what, and to get feedback. So here are the possible FRQs. Here's the first one here, and you notice that each one has maybe a couple of terms highlighted in each bullet. You will be asked only one of the terms. So for example, this one is asking you to identify the independent variable or the dependent variable. You'll only be asked one. You don't know which one, right? So you want to prepare your response as if it could be either one. So anytime you see an or, it might be one of those terms, not all 3, not both, just one. And these terms repeat themselves. So once you understand what an independent and dependent variable is, or once you understand what operational definitions are, you'll note that many of the FRQs really hit on the exact same terms. Okay. Okay, so definitely take your time to go through these. Okay, so what do we have next here? Let's see. Go back to the module. Okay, the next thing on the module is about the semester exam itself, and we're talking here about the multiple choice component of the exam. It is 75 questions, so there's no way you could possibly do that all in one day. So it is broken up over a number of days. So how will the exams be administered? For all students, except for those with an accommodation, to have a paper and pencil test, you will be taking it online. We would love, love, love to give you a copy of the exam, each and every one of you, that you can write on, just like the AP hopefully will be this year if we don't have to go virtual. But uh, that's just not feasible. We don't have that opportunity because we don't have copiers that we can rely on to work to make 200 copies of an exam. Um, just isn't going to happen. So we'll have to work with what we have. You will get one question at a time. delivered to you, but you'll be able to backtrack. Now, if you happen to be taking it at home for whatever reason, you won't be able to backtrack. Okay, so there'll be a slightly different rules for those people taking it at home, but you'll all be given the same exam. The exam, like I said, will be administered over a 2-day period if you don't have extended time, but you will have 3 days to do it if you have extended time. We've broken up into chunks for you, and I will prepare a document so you know what units will be covered on which day. I don't have that quite ready yet. Okay. The exams, like I said, will be delivered for those without extended time. Right now, we're scheduled to give them on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, weather permitting. And if you have extended time, you have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So, what if you're absent? Well, the multiple choice portion can be given from home. You'll need to log in through Zoom. You should be using your Chromebooks, keeping your eye, just like you did last year, all the stuff that you did last year when you took an exam. Okay, so just make sure you contact your teacher if you know you're going to be absent. I know we get lists of people who are going to be absent, but it really would be great if you'd let us know so we can make sure that we, accommodate you as best we can. And again, how will a delayed opening or a school closure impact the schedule since we do have a kind of a packed week of assessments? Well, we have one extra day built in. So if we had to, we could give assessments all the way through Friday. We don't want to do that, obviously. And if worse comes to worse and we lose a lot of time, we will just remove the FRQ from all it. I know that kind of sucks because you have to spend the weekend studying for it, but the good news is by studying for the FRQ, you are also studying for the exam. So I'm not too concerned that you're wasting any time by studying the FRQ. Okay. And finally, let's see what we have here. These are the semester exam resources. So there's quite a bit for you to look at to review. Obviously, there's a terms list, there's a Socrative quiz, and if you've never used Socrative, this will just send you to Socrative. It will take you to it, and if you wanted to, you can log in, and you log in as a student. And if you just get to this page, you'll just type in the room name, which is DelSav. Okay, everybody's going to use the same room. You can join the room. It asks you for your name. The only reason to ask, you don't have to put your name in there. It's nice to know your name because if we see you're struggling with something, we can certainly help you out. But if you really want to put Donald Duck, I really can't stop you from doing that. Okay. And then you're going to get, as you can see, 200 questions. I'll probably pare that down a little bit, but 200 questions that you can freely navigate through. Okay, let's see what else we have here. We have a guided review sheet. It's 86 questions. I don't yet have the answer sheet complete, but I will have that for you before you have completed it. And then there are links here for each of the videos that were produced by the College Board at the end of last year in preparation for the AP exam. Now, as you go through these videos, you might note that some of the terms are new to you because when we created these videos for the College Board, we actually intermingled units. So if somebody talks about disorders, obviously we haven't gotten to disorders yet, or something in the social psychology. So where I've noted that there are problems, like, for example, here in the cognitive psychology, there is definitely some terms that I mentioned that you don't have to know. But these are great. They're about 45 to 50 minutes long. You can fast forward through things that you understand completely. Um, and Dr. Swope, who teaches at Northwest High School here in the county, and I were both hired by College Board to do these. So I feel like that at least it has information that I know that I'm going to be putting on the exam that you have coming up. Okay. And that is it. So if you missed today for whatever reason, or you are still really confused about what you have to do, hopefully I've answered your questions. If you have any further questions, please, please, please contact your teacher or me directly, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Have a great weekend, and I guess we're all hoping for maybe a delayed opening on Tuesday, but we'll see you next week.